Yeah, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I don't know why I say it, I just feel like I need to. Welcome to another episode, number 5 of She Knows Football, presented by Kansas City, My City. My name is Cornell Gorman. I'm with my lovely co-host. What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Opal OG Gorman. Follow me at Actually Opal.
Okay, yeah, that's what's up. And we are doing a web series, a podcast, video cast, whatever you call it, of women's take on sports, specifically my wife. We are going to have guests on from time to time. Yes. So other women that know football, that love football, they're going to be coming on sharing their takes. But we are having women come on and say what they think about the sport and share their expertise and their perspective and their viewpoint on the sport of football. And it's fun, it's exciting, it's enjoyable, it's a family event. So tell your mama, tell your friends, come check us out. She Knows Football. We're going to have merchandise coming out. So if you are a female woman that knows football, definitely grab your t-shirt at kansascitymycity.com or just grab one of these cool shirts. Sit up, babe, so they can see that.
Let me just, there we go. Bam, there you go.
Yeah. Grab one of these cool shirts. Kansas City Chief inspired t-shirts, Kansas City, My City. But there's other designs on there as well, Royals inspired, or just regular t-shirts that represent my city. T-shirts are just a cool way to be able to tell your story. So what better way than show your love for your city through rocking one of these super cool t-shirts? You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
Cool. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Episode number 5. We got some interesting things to happen. Let's go ahead and start off with just some news around the league, right? So first off, Wille is suspended 4 games throughout the league, clowning for something he did. He got arrested, vandalizing or something like that. He's a young talent that we kind of like, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
very unfortunate.
We got to go 4 games without him. That's cool. You got anything on that? Really, not really.
I think. To me, what's interesting, even about when people consider like personal conduct and stuff, and you think about, I don't want to say they don't have regular jobs. I mean, by the sense, y'all know what I mean by a regular job.
Right.
I think that in a regular job, they may not consider all of your personal conduct in the way that they do in some of these sports leagues. And sometimes when people get suspended, it's kind of like, all that makes sense because these people are on a public platform, versus, maybe somebody else at their job. Nobody knows you work for whoever you work for. And if you get caught up in something, it's not going to make the company look bad because nobody knows your job like that.
But even on a regular job, I think there are offenses that you can do and perform that will get you suspended. Working for a company is a privilege to an extent. You have the right to work and represent this brand, and when you violate that, you should be suspended. Especially the NFL. Playing in the NFL is an absolute privilege, and if you violate that right, you should be suspended. And my man, I love him. Even though he missed some tackles this last game, I wanted to see a little bit more from him. But I think he is a young talent that has the potential to be something special, really great. So, it is what it is, Willie. We'll see you those 4 games. So there's been an allegation. The Cardinals, after the Cardinals played the Cardinals played the Raiders, a fan struck Kyler Murray. You got anything on that?
Yeah. I don't care how much fandom you have. It's not appropriate to strike a person, period, regardless, unless you're defending yourself.
Yeah.
So, and I don't even know all the small details surrounding this particular fan, but it's absolutely unacceptable for you to be striking the athletes, especially if it's about a game. Like, y'all, listen, I love sports. I love the camaraderie. I love the, how people can kind of come around something and fellowship and, just enjoy the entertainment of sports. I think you should be loyal to your team and all that type of stuff. But hitting or striking a person in any type of way based absolutely unacceptable.
Because they're still a human being.
Absolutely. Like, they're human before they're football players. Like, it's never, ever acceptable to strike any of the athletes for any reason unless you were defending yourself physically from an attack.
Yeah.
So, like, it's literally ridiculous. Like I said, even fans getting into it and seeing stuff like that, like, is crazy. Yeah, and it's been some crazy stuff. I didn't see some. Just remember some basketball games. People throwing. You can't throw anything at the athletes. It's unacceptable. You can't throw nothing at them. I don't care if you mad your team lost. Guess what? Them people getting paid. They going home with their money. Yeah,
it's almost like people feel like that these athletes aren't human beings, and because we pay our money to go see them, we have the right to talk about them and their feelings not get hurt, to ridicule them, I guess, because we put them in this public light. We make memes out of them, and some people even feel like it's acceptable to put your hands or assault them, well, by spitting on them, throwing water on them, hitting them. And it's just like we just lost this sense of humanity, reality, when it comes to professional athletes.
Yeah,
to an
like
extent.
It's literally treating them as if they're a product, which I do get. Obviously, the NFL, they're all forms of entertainment, and they are selling a product. However, these people we don't own these people.
Right.
I don't care if you bought a ticket. I don't care if you bought some jerseys. I don't care how much you patronize and watch them on TV. You do not own those people. Exactly. And you're not entitled to. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Cool. So moving on down the line. So Trey Lance, my man, broke his ankle. And I had him like on my fantasy as a backup quarterback, and he's out of there, broken ankle.
Oh, God. Like, it's football, seeing people's injuries and stuff like that. And he's young. It's so I hope and pray he's able to recover well from this, because he's out for the rest of the season, you know what I mean? And hopefully he can continue to grow and develop, but it's very unfortunate. Maybe he need to holler at Dak on how to get through these hard times.
Yeah, straight up. You know what I'm saying? But Garoppolo, what you think he's talking about?
Garoppolo is like, boom, told y'all,
Yeah.
So now they're back to Jimmy G.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to try to prove a point.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, for sure. I would, if you want to continue to get paid, sir, now's your opportunity and now's your chance to go ahead and do that. All right. So last week you had some game picks, man.
Yeah, man.
You want to talk about it?
I mean, I do, but not for real. Like, none of my, it was horrible. Like, the picks that we discussed anyway.
Now, it was some exciting games, though, last week.
Yes,
though.
like, for the season to be starting off like this, it just makes me say that, like, some of these statistics and predictions that all of us are coming up with, it is early in the season. Some of those early predictions we're going to be surprised and stunned by.
Yep. So what were some of the games you guessed on? I can't remember. We talked about Cowboys and Bengals.
Yeah, I talked about that one.
You said losing. And they won.
I can't believe Joe lost, but the defense for the Cowboys was they holding the team over. You know what I'm saying? Like, they doing their thing. But that's not the one I was surprised by. I think I was most surprised by probably the Ravens in the Miami game.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
that was a game. And that's frustrating because I'm just be honest with you. Like, I don't want to see Tyreek do his thing. I don't want to see it.
That boy went off.
Yeah, he went all the way
my
off.
goodness.
Had like 11 catches, 192 touchdowns, and they won the game. It's like, dang it. Like, I know the Chiefs is going to be okay without Tyreek. You know what I'm saying? And we can see it, but dang it. Like, Tyreek looked like he might be all right without.
Yeah, and I still don't. I mean, like, if you have a player like Tyreek, the performance of that quarterback should automatically, like, especially if you're a mediocre, less than average quarterback, you should improved. Now, granted, his stats still wasn't that great. Now, he did have like over 400 yards, but
he had 6 touchdowns.
He had 6 touchdowns, but he had to throw like 50 throws just to get that. And like I said, and Tyreek came through in the clutch.
Yep.
Dang it. I was so disappointed by that.
And it also hurts because I want my man Lamar to get paid. Like, he still hasn't got paid yet, and you can't be losing games.
Now, okay, so now that is a question I do have because as far as games go, like Lamar played, that was to me essentially like an MVP worthy game. Like, he threw for over 300 yards. He was like 21 of 29. He had 119 rushing yards. I think he had a rushing TD and then like 2 or 3 touchdowns. That's literally like...
That was a great game.
That's like an MVP game.
Yeah, that was a solid game, except for the fact that you lost.
So that's my question. So can you be an MVP, have wonderful stats, but your team is still a losing team?
No, absolutely not. No way. Never.
Never?
Ever.
Never? But like what?
Absolutely not.
What if all your games are close losses?
No, don't want to hear that. You need to figure out a way to get over that hump. If they close, you had a phenomenal game, you should have figured out a way to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? I know he only had 14 seconds left, but that's 1 second more than Patrick Mahomes had.
Hello, we all know that that's plenty of time now.
So when we talk about most valuable player, this person is extremely valuable because what's the point of the game? You play to win the game. You play to win the game. A word to Herm Edwards. Hello, you play to win the game. So if your efforts fall short of a win, how can we deem you valuable? Now the stats are great. The stats look nice. The stats is a lot of fluff and will put behinds in seats. So that's good for business, but valuable to the team and ultimately winning. I can't do that.
I mean, but football is such a team sport, and especially if we talking about like offensive player, like he still needs a defense to help him win. You know what I'm saying? And he's not even an offensive player is not even on the field when the defense is on the field. So to me, it's kind of like I do agree with you in the general sense, but football is really a team sport.
And I agree with that. I understand that to an extent. But even like the greats, so it's so cool that we have Patrick Mahomes and we get to see this in real time. So let's think about how atrocious the Kansas City Chiefs defense was just a couple seasons back, and how Patrick had to when the defense would give up a touchdown, Patrick had to go out and throw another one.
Well, this is true.
So that's what valuable players do. Okay, cool. I know I threw for 5 touchdowns. Defense just gave up another one. I got to go throw for 6. Kind of what Tua did.
So who's more valuable in that game? Was it Tyreek or was it Tua? I'm going to argue that it was Tyreek.
I mean, 6 touchdowns, they weren't all to Tyreek, but Tyreek was a big-time factor.
Winning the game?
I think he was an X factor. I think Tyreek was a major X factor, but Waddle had some really good catches, you know.
Well, yeah.
And there were other players that contributed to the game as well. And so, you know, Tua was the one that threw 6. It's tough just in the NFL, it's tough for anybody outside of the quarterback position right now to win an MVP. You have to be now, if everything that Tua threw was to Tyreek, okay, kind of like Cooper Kupp in the Super Bowl, all Stafford did was turn and look for Kupp, waiting for him to get open. And that's how I would say a wide receiver is a MVP. But
I mean, but the way Tyreek played in the fourth quarter to come back after he had to go back, do whatever, he got his fluids and stuff, like if Tyreek wouldn't have came back in the game, so are you saying the Dolphins still would have won that if Tyreek specifically wouldn't have been back in the game?
Yeah, they probably wouldn't have.
So who's more valuable then, Tua or Tyreek in that particular game, in that particular instance? But
Tyreek did come back, and Tua still had the results that he had. So I still give it to Tua, nod to Tua, because if Tyreek didn't come back, Tua still did have an opportunity to win the game and come back. But I don't know. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Any other games?
Anyway, but listen, we want y'all's thoughts even on that. Like, can a person be an MVP and their team's not winning? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Tell me.
Something to think about.
Tell me something good. Yeah. Yeah. Any other games?
Who else did I also talked about, I really thought the Raiders was going to win.
Yeah.
And they didn't. I really did think they were going to win,
yeah,
man.
Kyler coming through. It's all good. That was a comeback for ages, and then the fans wasn't having it and just punched them. Yeah.
Is that why the fans are so upset? Like, you should have won this game. They took it out on the wrong person.
What was you and just punched them.
Oh my goodness! Now listen, I'm not sleep on Kyler. I do think Kyler's a good quarterback.
Let's get some game picks for tonight. We got Titans against the Bills. Who you got? Did you tell us last time?
Yeah. Oh well, I guess I consistently pick the Bills.
Okay.
Because Josh.
And then the Bills, and then also we have the Eagles playing the Vikings. Who you got?
Ooh, I'm taking the Vikings.
Yeah, so we're going to post this tomorrow, so the game's going to already air, and we got
and we'll see. But I did the same thing with the Seahawks in the Broncos game, which I can't believe. Yeah. It's so unfortunate that Russ didn't win his only opportunity to really, for real, like be winning, because the AFC West that's something else for him.
Cool. Let's talk about next week, game picks for next week. So make sure you mark these down. So we got the Steelers against the Browns. That's a division game.
I think the Steelers are going to win. I think because the Browns lost this past Sunday. It was extreme. Obviously, it was like by 1 point.
Yeah,
but I don't know if they have the edge necessarily. But for the Steelers, Mike Tomlin, he focuses more on like defense.
Yeah, more of the defensive guy.
Yeah.
Here's a good one: the Bills versus the Dolphins. What you think?
I'll tell you who I want to win.
Who you want to win?
The Bills, but with the fact that the Dolphins came through in the clutch like that, but like I said, Josh, he might have, I will just have to see a little bit more for me to get like maybe more solid, but Josh can run the ball. Like I said, listen, him stiff arming old boy lives rent free in my mind.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, Lamar is a running quarterback, and they definitely pulled out the dub. Not to say Josh doesn't necessarily heavily focus on running, but we know he's a versatile quarterback.
Yeah.
And obviously he still has good receivers, and obviously the Dolphins have good receivers. But I don't want Tyreek to win this year.
Yeah, I feel you.
So
that's against Tyreek. I feel you.
So I'm still gonna take the Bills for good reason though. Like their defense is good. So
yeah, I'm
still gonna take the Bills.
Okay. Raiders versus the Titans. It's interesting. I really want to see what the Titans do tonight. I think that'll really help gauge a little bit more. But we know what the Raiders are 0-2. So
yeah.
What you think?
I don't know, man. I low-key think the Titans gonna win.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Rams, Cardinals. I like why does everybody feel like the Cardinals is trash? But whatever.
I don't think they trash. It's just anytime you have to play the Chiefs, I'm not going
Okay. But I think a lot of people have been saying like.
But the Cardinals aren't, like I said, like that one season that Kyler came out, like they started off 8-0. Now, granted, you kind of dwindle off, which is why like you do want, like you pay attention to they're not smaller games. These games at the beginning of the season do help to determine like seeding in the playoffs and stuff. But heck, the Chiefs didn't even start off that great last year. I think it was like 3-4 at one point.
Yeah, yep.
And clearly we still went back to the AFC Championship game. So you do at the beginning of the season.
We hosted the championship game.
Yeah, and we hosted it. So you at the beginning of the season, it's a little more like you got to give people a little bit of time to fill out, because statistics are based on history. And even as we saw in the Chiefs game, there's like X factor, like there's reality, like we're playing in reality, even though like people got fantasy football and all these statistics, that every time they come and play a game, you're changing the statistics.
Yep.
So
a couple more good games. So last two games, Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady. Packers, Bucks. Who you got?
It depends on how Tom is doing at home.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's not distracted with other things.
Tom was going off, been tripping the last couple of games.
But that's a good one. I think Aaron is going to win this game.
Ooh.
I think he's going to win, but this is I think he's going to win.
Okay. And Mike Evans is suspended a game because they fought. That was ridiculous. And then lastly, we got the Chiefs versus the Colts.
Oh, now the Chiefs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's up. Okay. So we'll round it out here in a second, but let's go ahead and talk about the Chiefs last week against the Chargers. And you got any takes, any thoughts on that?
As we have, I'm sure you guys have heard, and maybe you haven't, but it wasn't the most precise, efficient. It wasn't the greatest game for the Chiefs, but we still pulled out the dub, which is kind of like what we're talking about, like MVP and people. You got to still have a winning team. So it wasn't the prettiest win, but it was a win,
right?
And that's what matters, is as win. You know what I'm saying? Like even the season that we won the Super Bowl, like every single playoff game, we were coming from behind from like 10 points and we won, which is what matters. But the game was definitely good. Two Watsons did well. Yep. Two Watsons did well. Justin Watson with that long pass to him that Patrick made. After McCole I think McCole got a little hurt or something, so he had to kind of come out for the play. Beautiful pass.
And he made, he got an opportunity and he did something with it. Like our cornerback that came and had that interception late in the game, and Opal gets, I don't know, like I think I'm getting old, but like I don't get super excited about the game, but Opal, man, she turns all the way up. You know what I'm saying? It's super fire. I like it. So they got the interception and you just did the fool. You know what I'm saying? Got beside yourself, start smacking me on the butt. I'm like, hey.
Oh, wow, you divulged that publicly? I didn't think. Thought that was a family, husband and wife moment.
Yeah, tell her to stop. I'm sick of it.
Gosh, but that was a beautiful interception, and then it was a miscommunication with Herbert and Everett.
Yeah,
Everett was trying to get off the field. His brother was like, "Get me off!"
and they're like, "No, catch this."
Yeah, but even in spite of the miscommunication, here's the thing: you get paid to be in shape.
Yeah.
That's what you get paid to be in shape.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So regardless of you being winded, like once the play snapped, it's go time. Like you finish out the play, and after the play's over, then you get off, but you got to finish off the snap.
Right, exactly. Yep. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Chiefs look solid, man. I think they're still filling it out. Or are we going to be explosive like Chiefs pass, or are we going to be like a new efficient team? I want y'all to check out my new video. We got a new video coming out in a couple of days, so be on the lookout for that. We'll try to drop that Thursday. Podcast coming out Tuesday. We'll keep that rhythm, but as long as y'all buying merch, we're going to definitely keep the party going. You know what I mean? So support. Let's talk fantasy football really quick before we hop off, man. So how you looking in fantasies?
I think I got quite a few players that are playing today, Monday.
Okay.
So I don't know, but one of them I know I'm about to be. It's not going to be good because Tyreek went off, and the person I played with had freaking Tyreek.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? This making me mad. So. I think I'm kind of in the middle. Like I'm winning 1 out of 2 leagues. Like
so you're in 2 leagues, right? We have a league, Kansas City, My City League, that's going pretty good. In that league, the score was 176.68. Oh no, what I say? It was. I lost by 0.32 points.
Ooh.
0.32 points is I lost in that league.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that
I'm
sucks.
sorry, babe.
Yeah. So it wasn't even a full point. It wasn't even half a point. By 0.32 points. It's trash. So I'm in 4 leagues. I'm probably not going to do 4 leagues again. It's just too
2
much.
is too much to keep up with. And I turned on the notifications this year because I know last year a couple times I forgot to take people out that was hurt and wasn't paying no attention.
Yeah.
So I definitely turned on the notifications to get, to make sure I switch people out.
Yeah. So this is what I'm going to do for anybody that wants merchandise. I'm going to just be dropping Easter eggs throughout this podcast. So if you send me a direct message and you say, I heard the part, I'm going to send you a discount code for 35% off t-shirts, okay? So hit me up, 35% off. I'm going to send you a code for you to get 35% off on your merchandise. So hit me up and say, I heard the part, and we'll get you taken care of, okay?
Absolutely. Now, there is one thing I did want to bring up from the Chiefs game.
Okay, what's
really
that?
Quick. I was very upset, and I thought it was unnecessary the way that man slammed Travis. I was upset.
Yeah.
I said, and Travis is a better person than me because I'd have been punching helmets. You know what I'm saying? Which is ridiculous to punch a helmet. And when we see people do it, it's kind of like, why are you punching a hard helmet? You ain't going to do nothing but fracture your own hand.
Yeah.
But I was upset, and I was very proud of Travis for keeping his head in the game and not letting that distract him or him wasting any energy on
funny.
possibly throwing hands with that person, because I didn't appreciate it. I'm letting you know, Travis, I didn't appreciate it, and I was ready. I was ready.
Derwin James, he's pretty good. Derwin James is a pretty good safety. But what I tried to explain to you was that's just part of that was clean football to me. You go out and you play with a lot of emotion, a lot of intensity, and your job is to play aggressive. And Travis stepped over into his space and he played aggressive.
Again, like I said, I don't have a problem partly with him slamming him, but the fact that he stood over him after he did it let me know that maybe some of that was a little intentional. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Football is a man's game, but I didn't appreciate it nonetheless. And I didn't appreciate it.
My job is to dominate you. It's literally to exude dominance over you, to show you that I am stronger, faster, tougher, smarter than you. So when he does it, I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Okay, but whatever. Tis his life.
So cool. Let's go ahead and wrap it on up. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for tuning in for another episode of She Knows Football. We need to do like a jingle.
We do. And of course, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And be sure to like and share the video and share your comments with anything we've said. Like I said, at the bottom in the comment section. Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. Until next time.
Peace.